Welcome everybody to tonight's home clinic. A home clinic is where we grab one quality coach and he presents on one specific subject for you guys to enjoy, and he usually does that from home. If you guys have been enjoying this series and would like to see it continue, we want to ask that you would like and subscribe below. Those things certainly help us to grow and is kind of that feedback to say this is a good thing. Keep this coming. If you have a desire to present in the future, reach out to us on Twitter, DM us. That's at the Chief Pigskin. All right, without further ado, tonight's home clinic.
What's going on, coaches? My name is Anthony Gonzalez. I'm the head football coach at Everett Alvarez High School in Salinas, California. Today, we've got a special guest, is Mr. Bill Wiles. He's the head coach at Trenton High School in Florida. Coach, you've been coaching for 35 years and like 26 years as a head coach, correct?
Yes, sir.
And this is your third go-around at your school at Trenton?
Yes, sir. Actually, the fourth if you count my stint as an assistant coach.
Awesome. So today you're going to be talking a different flavor of the single wing, and it's the multiple spread in the single wing, right?
Yes, sir.
So I know that you did a presentation for Nate about the single wing earlier. Is this going to be a little different than what you had previously?
Yes, sir. It's going to be different in the sense that we have evolved here at Trenton. We had a special kid last year as a sophomore who, in single wing terminology, some people don't have a quarterback, a tailback and a fullback. And so we have a guy that is a quarterback. So in the single wing, he's going to be our tailback most of the time. But he is a very talented kid. So we've kind of evolved to, we've always been able to spread out to a degree. We've just done it a little bit more to utilize his talents.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to hear from it. So whenever you're ready, go ahead and take it away.
Okay. Thank you, Anthony. Appreciate it. I'm going to try to adjust some of this as we go so I don't mess the board up. So we're going to talk about multiple single wing. The first thing I'd like to address is why single wing at all? And to me, it's pretty simple. Number one, nobody sees it. We're the only single wing on, I'd say nobody around here is running it. So all the teams we played last year, they had to prepare for a single wing team, which is entirely different than anything that they see in 3 to 4 days. So that's the biggest thing. With the direct snap stuff on the single wing, you're always +1. So you have a built-in short yardage offense within your main offense where you can just direct snap the football and you're +1 right now. But the biggest thing is it's unique and people don't see it. Our philosophy is more ways, less plays. So down here are the plays we run, and more ways we try to get in formations. We try to get in different sets. And we're going to talk about that a little bit today as time allows. But, we can line up, in all seriousness, 10 to 15 different ways. A lot of them are little tweaks, but they're still different. And it's not a scouting deal where you can peg us and get us down to one play or two plays out of a set. So if we change our set, we want to be able to run the majority of what we run. Evolution, like we talked about. Evolution to what I'm going to talk about today is because of we have had very talented kids in the past, but I have a real quarterback here. And I kind of knew that going in. I took this job 3 days before practice. But as practice evolved early in the year, I realized I had a special guy. So what I'm going to talk to you today, we're going to talk single wing, we're going to talk base single wing, and then we're going to talk about how we took advantage of our guys' talent. So that's the topic. We got some huddle coming. I like drawing. I'm old school a little bit, so I like the X and O, so everybody can see what we're doing. So with us, we are unbalanced. So that is our strong guard. That is our inside tackle. That is our outside tackle. This is our split in, our wing back. This first set I'm going to draw up is our base set. Over here would be our quick guard and our tight end. We line up our tailback with his right foot in A gap at 4 yards, from the football. We align our fullback with his left foot in A gap at 4 yards from the football. We want to take, a lot of people refer to the guy here as a blocking back. We refer to him as our hammer. And we want to put him 3 yards off the ball. And that creates a little bit of space instead of putting him up where he's right, where his head is almost touching the tackle. We put his feet at 3 yards and it gives him room to run around. So that's our base set. We have the ability to move the wing back outside the split in. That would be called wide for us. We have the ability to line up in a slot. We would widen the split in, and we would also widen the wing back. So that's basically twins over. We have another simple formation where we align the wing back weak. So that's 3 formations I just showed you. We can line up in what we call split, which takes our fullback and splits our fullback weak. If we want to combine split and wide, then we would take and move the fullback weak, align the split in at 5 to 7, and put the wing back outside. So you can see there real quick how we can get in some of these formations. The other thing we can do is move our tight end around, and some of this I'm gonna add some stuff with it. If any O word moves the tight end to the opposite side, to the other side. So any O word talks to the tight end. If we just simply want him to go over, then we would put him there. That would not, our wing back would come here, our split end would come there. We can still tag wide if we want wide or whatever, but over moves him over here to the other side at the end of the line of scrimmage. If we go on, we move him over. Our split end stays at 5 to 7, and our tight end goes outside. It just creates more of an unbalanced situation. And if we want to move him out, we have a word where we can split him out. We can still put the tailback here. So the fullback. So if we wanted to, we could go 2 by 2 very easily as such. So we can get in that. Thus the spread part of the offense. First thing people are going to see is we have this nub side here. Having the unbalanced side on the other side makes it really hard on people to line up and be sound against these receivers. People say, well, they're going to blitz our weakness. We still have the ability with this guy in place for all kinds of runs, and we can run the ball here or here. So we have seen people that want to bring extra people here, and all we got to be able to do is get the ball off depending on coverage. So we can create we can create trips. We can create trips with the same adjustment, wing back, fullback. We can switch these two guys, depending on ability. We can go trips opposite by just leaving the split in here and moving the wing back and the fullback here. So now we have 3 eligibles over here, 1 eligible over there. So you can see how we get in these various formations that we talked about. So our plays again are relatively simple. We want to be able to run trap weak. So we want to be able to attack here and here with the trap. So our rule is we want to be able to attack anywhere from here to here. Over here with the trap, we want to be able to attack anywhere from A gap to C gap. So from there, we have a quick hitting play with the ISO, which it's just like I formation ISO. It's like ISO if you're a shotgun with a H back. We just want to ISO the bubble. We want to put one of our players in the face of the linebacker, and we want to run the ball to the bubble. So trap ISO. Basically, the signature play of the single wing is the power. And that, again, is why you want to stay, you want to be able to get in your base look and run the power. And I'll show you why most single wing people think the power is, like I said, the signature play, and how it helps you basically stay bulletproof against people that are trying to blitz you and such. So we see a lot of what I call a shade 50, which is this look with a half field corner. People generally roll their strong safety up outside the wing, half field or man free, and then their corner. So they're either half field with this guy, flat with that dude, half field with this guy, or they're going to play man to man all the way across the field, and that's what we see. That's what we see. So why power is a good play in the rule. So it's a gap scheme play. So we feel like, it's blitz sound. So it's gap for everybody. And we will kick the last guy on the line of scrimmage, use this guy to turn out on the force player. And we block free safeties because safeties are generally tacklers. Corners generally don't want to tackle. So we try to block the free safety. The center will block away. We will pull the guard. We will lead the fullback, and we snap the ball directly in the center, and we try to catch the ball on the run. So again, it's a direct snap play. So we have 1, 2, 3 people in front of the football. And we could draw up a bunch of different looks, talk about blitzes. But if it's gap scheme, you ought to be sound against the blitz. So power is definitely going to be our signature play. You're going to have to stop the power if you play us, and you can. Some people do. Counter is a way to run the ball weak for us. We generally run counter weak. Sweep is a way to run the ball strong and weak. And then from there, we have some basic passes. And we have sprints. And we throw the same concepts that everybody threw. So wing back, split in. We take the split end, run him to the deep part of the field, take the wing back and run him to the shallow part of the field. That's nothing more than a simple smash concept. So we run the same concepts as everybody else, and we have a couple, 3 to 4 different ways to get that high-low, like I said, smash looking deal. But we run some sprints. We have two or three that we try to get good at, 3 or 4 we try to get good at. Drop back pass, we have a couple. Because of these and because people are dead set on stopping the run, we feel like that we need to be able to throw the screen. So we have 2 to 3 screens that we throw. We also like reverses in order to stay multiple, in order not to get redundant. So these are things that we will do within the game. And those things are successful, again, because people are up on the ball and they're just selling out, stop the run. So screens are good and reverses are good because we're such a direct run, full flow team. So if you get full flow this way, reverses are good against a lot of people coming back the other way. So sprint passes, drop back passes, these kind of fit with that. So this is what I'm going to move to is our pre-snap RPO stuff and how we do it. And we have some specials. We always try to keep 3 fresh gadget plays. So whatever they are, double pass, reverse pass, throwback pass, we always try to keep 3 fresh gadget plays on our play sheet. So when I say fresh, if I use one of those plays on Friday, we would install another one to take that play's place for the next week because we know that people are going to prepare for that play. So we try to keep 3 of these in our pocket. Now we'll put that one back into play, but we just might not do it for a couple of weeks. So the other passes are boots and nakeds. These are very, very good. These are hard block plays. So we will block counter and we will throw a naked boot off a counter. So these are all, when I say nakeds, it means we're blocking a run and we're throwing a pass. Boots are just like everybody else, boot, waggle, terminology can get tricky here. Our boots, we pull guards, and they're action passes. So they go along with this stuff here. So like I said, I want to spend some time. We're going to show some film of all these things, but I want to talk a little bit about, how we use our quarterback this year. So if you have a quarterback, and I've seen this a lot, and I've been around single wing circles where people ask a lot, if I have a real quarterback, what do I do? And we just took some spread stuff that we learned, and so that's the tailback. If you're a single wing guy, he's our quarterback. So now what we do with the fullback, it depends. We have little tags on where he aligns. So we can put the fullback right there, okay? Defensively, I'm just going to draw that shade. I'll draw something else here in a minute. But for right now, so we're in wide. So they might take that strong safety, move him out, take the corner, move him out, kind of leave the free hanging there. And again, we're back to that backfield corner or half field corner. So with our quarterback, one of the first things is we talked about running power. So it's not hard to run power read. If you already have power and you've already installed it, it's not hard to run power read. So we want to block the edge. We want to block the edge with those three guys. And we want to read the end man on the line of scrimmage, still from gap scheme. So we'll bring that guy and we'll let our guy, who we feel like is a very good player, let him read the end man on the line of scrimmage, and we'll just simply run power read. That's one way to try to create multiple gaps and let this guy go. I'm going to use a word that's kind of anti-single wing. We're in a gun look. We're not as deep as shotgun teams. We're 4 yards generally. But still having this guy in the shotgun and able to see, or not under center and able to see, especially when you have an athlete, if we're reading that guy and he can feel a gap there and hit it, we're just taking advantage of what this guy can do. And of course, you got the action passes off of that. And if you have time and you don't confuse your kids, it is legitimately possible to read all them people. We talked about running the counter. So again, we want to give our quarterback something to do here, something to read. So we can flip-flop tight end tackle, and we can bring two guys over here. Let's just say for right now, we bring the split in. If we leave the tight end there, we'd have to adjust and obviously put a guy on the line of scrimmage. But what I'm going to show you is getting three people over here, being able to leave the fullback there, and run counter, and read that linebacker. So if we got this guy just jabs and comes here, we're letting him read the linebacker. If the linebacker runs out, we're gonna pull it and hit it up in there. So my point is, with a good athlete, let him read and make some decisions. And for us, it made our offense way better. So not only can you run power read, you're already running counter. So you can run counter read. It's whatever you feel like you want to do. I know this stuff, so that's what we do. And I feel like as an offensive coach, a play caller, it's imperative that you know your stuff. So I don't try to get fancy and invent things. I try to stick to what I know. That doesn't mean we're not going to learn new things and do new things, but it's important that you know what you do. So the pre-snap RPO. So if we line up, and we lined up a lot in wide, and we lined up a lot in walk slot. So these guys have to, let's just say they're 4-3. We don't get a lot of that. Let's just say they're 4-3. So they got to make a decision. If they take their strong safety, take their corner, take their free corner. So out here, we have two basic tags. We call smoke, which is our now screen or quick screen. So if we're throwing the quick screen to this guy, his rule is to aim 1 yard in front of him and block the most dangerous guy. This guy is simply going to look for the ball. So we tag that stuff with our inside runs. So anything that is an inside run, trap would be an inside run, ISO would be an inside run, power would be an inside run, counter would be an inside run. We tag special plays to counter. I'll get to that. But with power and ISO and trap, we can tag smoke or bubble. And that is signaled off the sideline. So when we line up, that is simply orange wide to us. So if we've made the call, we want the fullback there, and we've got power call, these guys they're blocking power. These cats are blocking power. The coach on the sideline has called his tag. If we call smoke, the corner 7 to 8 yards off, that's what that'll look like. This guy, of course, is inside hip. So now when our quarterback slides and catches, he's just going to hitch up and throw the ball out there. And we're looking to get the ball vertical in the grass. We can call the smoke to either of these guys. So it would look opposite if it's to the inside guy. So if we feel like the strong safety is cheating in here and they're really not covering our guy, we will sprint for 1 yard in front of him. We will become a blocker, and we will block the most dangerous guy from that point. He's simply going to jab and look. We're blocking power here. The quarterback will slide, catch, hitch up, and we'll throw it here. And from there, personnel-wise, our wingback is our home run hitter to line up in here to run the weak sweep and the counter. So putting him out here as a receiver, we have an athlete out there. We try. This guy's got to be a blocker. But I know in modern day football, all receivers have to be blockers. So most of you guys have a guy here that knows if you don't block, he's probably not going to be on the field. So this guy's got to be a blocker, but he's also athlete enough to where, he's a guy you want catching passes. So last year we were pretty fortunate in that we had a couple of them guys there. If either one of those guys caught the ball with any kind of space, we could get 4 yards. We felt like if we got 4 yards, it was a win. A lot of times it gets bigger than that. And if it turns into a 12, 15-yard play, then, that's gravy. So I showed you earlier a simple formation adjustment. Put the split in on the line of scrimmage, walk the wing back out, and that's slot to us. Well, we got the same thing. We can throw the smoke screen to this guy. We can put him out there as a blocker. We can throw the smoke screen to this guy, put him in here as a blocker. Or we can run bubble and use him as a blocker. So now we got two tags. We got quick screen, now screen, whatever you guys call it, and then we have bubble. And so one of the things when I was making that list is having plays for my quarterback Also think it's important that you have ways to make plays with your space players. And if I can get that guy in space, I want to do that. So formations again. So we go back. Formation we didn't talk about, wing back, full back. So now these guys they're going to have to adjust somehow. A lot of times, get an outside corner, we get a guy playing on this guy, and then we get a guy over the top. And what we found to be really, really good, again, we can tag this with power. We could tag this with ISO. We could tag it with trap. We could tag it with counter. Any inside run, we have a pretty good blocking angle there. We have a good blocking angle there, and we can just snap the ball, catch, hitch, throw the bubble to him, and try to create space for our good guy. And so the coach from the sideline, tags this. A lot of times, this is by formation. So if we're in this little, it's a bunch deal almost, 3 yards, 3 yards. So it's pretty tight. So it's a compressed set. So a lot of times you get this, and those people put their corner way out there for some reason. That just makes that a simple block. And if we can get him reached, there's a huge running lane there. So anyway, a way to get your good guy in space and do it with a pre-snap route tagged with an inside run. So if the quarterback, for some reason, he sees this, and this guy's 3 yards off the ball, he don't like it, he can slide catch and run the power, and we feel like we still have a pretty good play. So talk about all right, so if we're running the counter over here, they give us a 1, a 5. It doesn't really matter. They give us a 3, a 6. It doesn't matter. So we want to run counter. We'll block counter over here. Again, it's a hard flow look. And one of the things that we like to do is just run stick with him, stick with him, stick with him. And if they put a strong safety or an outside backer and they play a cover 3 look to that, we have a really good chance of reading him, throwing off of him. So I say pre-snap, it is a little bit of a post-snap because it's reaction to him, but we try to teach our quarterback based on alignment what we think will be open. These guys, this guy is 7-7, so we're going to try to really spread it out here. We're not going to try to be standing on each other. We're going to try to make this guy tell us where he's going to be. So the stick routes out here are really good. Tag that with counter. Again, you could tag it with any run, but that's that's one of the ones that's been really, really good to us. All right, I want to show you another one we like with counter, and it's simple, but yet very, very effective. So again, defense, say we get 2 4s, it doesn't really matter to us. So it's a 3-4 type deal. Outside linebacker, got to do something. So just to kind of throw something out there, this guy really becomes important in our run game to where he's lining up. So what we like to do a lot of times when we get in those trips formations or we get in these formations is we like to stack our guys. And that makes this guy, he should get out there. If he don't get out there, they can't defend 2 with 1. So I'm not telling y'all anything you don't know, but we like to stack these guys, and our split in alignment is 5 to 7. So we stack them inside some too. Okay, that's not going to make him move out, but that kind of makes them declare and lets us see what they're doing, how they're covering this thing. And then when we do it wide, it should make somebody move and play. Again, we can do it out of our trips deal as well. So our split ends here. We can take that fullback and stack our wing back and our fullback out there, or stack our fullback there and just leave our wing back there. So stacking those guys has become something that we like to do, running our route. So again, off a counter, a really simple thing. We line up in wide, and we take our fullback and we sprint him. And what we want him to do is we want him to sprint for 4 steps. And it's got to be flying. So he sprints for 4, he flips and backpedals to the sideline. Over here, it's most dangerous. We're running counter in here. So we're blocking at base. So we're running counter in here. So what we're looking for is color leaving the box. So if no color leaves the box, we're going to throw the ball out here. If we see color leave the box, then we're looking to keep the counter up inside. So that's a very simple play. See it a lot. College teams run it a lot. And it's good to us. You can substitute, people. We have a couple guys that play fullback for us that have their own individual talent sets. So again, we don't want it to be a scouting thing, but if we're running this, we would like that to be our fullback that has the talent set to catch the ball and find grass. So that's another way to tag counter, and it's been really, really good for us. So the stick route, the pre-snap RPOs, really good. Trips, we can do it out of trips, and then we'll get to some film. So we can do it out of trio as well. So remember, trips is strong, and trio is trips opposite. That's how we get the trips, trio, whatever. So our basic trip set puts those guys, and we can still tag him, or him, and we can still have a run play. So if we want this guy running a quick screen, he's 1 yard in front, most dangerous. We try to get him most dangerous, wherever the most dangerous guy is. So if he's tagged on the smoke, we try to get him inside or him outside and let him stay there. Either way, we work on it both ways. Bubble screen, we can run bubble with him on the line of scrimmage. He's got to back pedal and sprint if you run it with him on the line of scrimmage. So you have the same thing. You have smoke, you have bubble. So we also have the stick tag. So it's not complicated. Smoke, bubble, identify who you want doing what. Do it out of any set you want. And then, like I said, the other one that we have is it's all hitches. It's all hitches. And then we have the drop back passes that everybody else has. If people start jumping the hitches, we're going to go stop and go. So we have those. So again, you can line up over here, leave your X there, move your wing over here, move your fullback over here, make your tags over here. Make your tags over here with a running play. So you tag it with power. How they covering you over here? If we got outside smoke here, he's sprinting the same thing. Same thing. If you want this guy bubble, he's blocking most dangerous. If you want to run your sticks, run your sticks. If you want to tag it with trap, then run trap over here, throw the stick, or run the trap. So that's what we do. I'm going to go to some film with Coach, and we're going to look at a little bit of film. Now, what I've got a cut-up list. I have a playlist, but I tried to keep it as real game as I could. So you're going to see some of the real stuff. Coach, if you don't throw it up there, we'll look at it and talk about it.
Perfect.
Okay, so what you have here is we're in our normal wing set. So we're going to see some normal plays. Go ahead, Coach. We'll look at it. We're playing a pretty good team right here. This is mid-season. We'd about hit our stride a little bit. Okay, run that back, Coach. That's one of them naked boots I talked about. So we're blocking counter. We are faking counter. And we are putting the fullback in the flat. Those linebackers, you watch those linebackers, they're gone. That's our fullback catching the ball. That's normal stuff for us. So that's very, very hard to defend.
Sorry, Coach. This was your first play.
Yeah, that's fine. That's probably a bad one, I think. It's power read, I think. Yeah, we blocked it wrong. Tyler didn't read it good. But that happens to everybody, so that's a good one. Like I said, it's not a highlight film by any stretch. All right, so now we're lined up and wide. That's trap play. So that's trap strong. You can see we're trapping the tackle. And that's a big play for us, going in. So kind of mixing it up a little bit, run the naked to get it down there, and then follow it up with the trap. Yes, it's good play.
Next one.
Yes, sir. See what we got. Okay, so think we have, see if we don't have a smoke tag out here. Have to let it play. I'm not. Yeah, so you can see six. He's looking for the ball. And Tyler ran power. Quarterback ran power. So you can see six looking for the ball. You can see we're blocking power. Tyler liked what it looked like. So he made the decision to run it.
What's his determining factor of
what I tell him, Coach, is do what you want to do. I mean, I think the end being so wide, he knew we could kick the end. See how wide the end is? So he knew we were going to have a gap to run. The ends, yes, the end is so wide. I bet Tyler saw that. I like smoke screen out here. I'm not against it. I think Tyler saw the end wide and knew we could kick him out. So we just, we like on the throws, unless they're covered down, there's no reason we can't run them. Same one, you go forward.
Yeah. I think this is the one you previously talked about, the naked.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, we saw that. It's just hard fake counter. We saw that one out. More. Yeah. So there, it was power, but he threw the smoke screen to the inside receiver, and it goes back to what I said. Six is a good player. We didn't block it very good, but it turned into about a 12-yard gain, I think. So if you see the inside guy's not covered, the wingback needs to do a better job blocking. He don't block the most dangerous guy. He came off the corner. He should have stayed out there on the corner. But that was, again, getting the ball in space to a pretty good player. And you said, what does he look at? The guy was off of Tyrese at the time. And I can tell, quarterbacks and receivers build relationships, and our guy likes six. So he's going to throw six. So you can look how deep.
You're talking about that guy?
Yeah, he's way off. And that's what Tyler sees. And then what should have happened, this guy should have blocked the most dangerous guy. That's his rule. Most dangerous.
Right there.
And he comes off and he just ignores what turns out to be the most dangerous guy.
Yeah.
If he had stayed on the corner, we'd have been better off. But, again, that's Tyrese just making a play.
And it looks like he has that. Your quarterback has that counter blocked up pretty well, though, too, right?
Yeah, I think we could have ran the counter.
Yeah.
I think we could have ran the counter. That end is so wide.
He's just going to get up in the hole that the lineman created.
Yeah, I think if he'd have got it up inside right off the guard, he'd have been good to go. And again, that goes back to you don't – and again, this is just my opinion. You don't want to lock your quarterback up. He made some bad decisions. He made some decisions I'd have probably went the other way, but he was in 10th grade.
Yeah, so we're going to get better, right?
We've got him back. And like everybody else, I was looking forward to spring ball and getting him better and expanding this offensive philosophy. And we didn't get to have spring ball. So we'll see how much, all these ideas that we came up with in the off season. All right, so here we got power. You see, Ty. I think we looked at this. Tyrese looking for the ball, and that's a different play. Same deal though. We got a smoke tag with the receiver, and the quarterback just ran quarterback power. So number 6 is looking for the ball, which I think would have been okay. Tyler chose to run the ball. And what I was going to say a while ago, part of it might be, we're in the red zone, and Tyler knows we won't score when we get in the red zone. So that might have been in his head a little bit.
Running power anytime isn't a bad thing.
No. So let's see what we got here. Got power read. So again, that's you see we're lined up and wide.
That guy?
We're gonna read the first thing, head up to outside, that outside tackle. So the dude's standing up.
Okay.
Yep, the dude's standing up. And this is the guy we blocked down on. He's tried to spin out of the down block, and that was a case of Tyler hit it really tight. But there's a lot of gaps that can come open, and that's what I was talking about. So again, we're lined up and wide. Run power read again, and it's just everything is tight against this team. I don't know exactly why their linebackers are running. So when they get action, those linebackers are gone. And see, that guy's over the top, and it creates just such a huge hole backside.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we're wide again. That is that's ISO. That is a lead play. So we're leading with the fullback snapping the ball to the tailback. Notice we've changed personnel. We don't have our quarterback in there. He had ran a power read 2 or 3 times in a row. We took him out, and we put a couple different guys in there. And so that was just lead. So again, we're wide. And one thing, Coach, is look at this based on, if you wonder why I drew up what I drew up on the whiteboard, that's about what I drew up. You get the corner out here, you get the walk, whatever this guy is, strong safety, I don't know what they are. And then you got the free safety over the top. And we get that a lot. And, half field corner. So you got one guy over there. So that's about exactly what I drew up. That's some kind of 50 defense. It's a 3-4. But that's why, I draw that, because we get that 8 weeks out of 10.
Most of the teams you guys play 3-4 look?
3-4. I mean, flavor of the day, Coach.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
A lot of people like 3-4. All right, so ran the lead again. That's trap. That's quarterback trap. See if there's any movement out here. Yes. So the inside guy is tagged with a smoke screen. And this is a little bit later. Yes. So he's tagged with the smoke screen. The outside receiver's he's not right. He needs to be coming inside toward 6 and then block the most dangerous guy. It's a work in progress. I took this job 3 days before. But that's a good job trapping right there. Got the tackle trapped. He's up the field. And, I'm not going to Tyler's a really good player. I'm blessed to have him, and I've known him since he grew up with my son. So, knew this day was coming. Swinging the ball a little bit loose there. We need to work on that. So lined up wide again, because we keep getting the same look. We know what we're getting, and I like it when, we know how they're lined up.
Is this just trap 2?
Let it go a little bit. I was looking to see what they've done. They've gotten 3s. It is.
Looks like the tackle pulled.
Is it? Run it back.
Sure.
Yeah, run it back. We'll see. I saw it might be power.
I believe. Oh, okay.
Yeah. We missed the dadgum tackle. We missed the tackle on the down block, and he literally missed tackle. That's second down 100 somehow. You see over there, it's 2nd and 17 or something.
Yeah.
But we missed the down block, and the guy had his head down and missed the ball carrier. So this is so we've went back. We've moved him in here. All right, so we run, that's the lead play again. So they had moved out. They were playing a 3, a 5, and a 9. And then on the backside, they had a shade, but you see now, so now they're back to a shade 5-9. With the linebacker, he's walked all the way up in there because he's trying to defend, but he don't fit it right. He's not even close. The play side linebacker.
Yeah, I can see that.
He don't fit it very good. Nope.
This kid right here.
Yeah, he don't fit it good. I mean, we got a guy for him, but he chooses not to, fit it well. And that's one thing that I think, the single wing does to you too. I think kids get tired of getting beat on. And, so you run ISO power counter over and over. Those kids get tired of getting beat on.
All right, Coach, that was a great job. It was really interesting how many formations you guys carried and all the tags that you guys carried with it. How many different formations do you guys go into a game with?
Coach, I would estimate, so that's the first thing. Now we have the opportunity right now. We're working with our kids. We can't do a lot, but that's one thing we're teaching right now is formations. So with a small group of kids, we can group the kids how we want. So we got our backs and our receivers together in a group of 10. And so we can go in a classroom and draw it on the board. And being that if you're a back, you can be far from the other guy and a receiver. So, Coach, we can line up, 10 plus ways and pretty easily. And so if we're having trouble moving the ball, the first thing we're going to try to do is try a different formation and see if we can find a way to move the ball. A lot of times people are just really, really good and it doesn't matter, but sometimes you can get them messed up. Sometimes it takes them a while to adjust. So if you can find that spot, that's good. So I'd say over 10.
Nice. Would you say that you're like a little bit more traditional with the single wing where power is the bread and butter type of play, or do you guys have different flavors?
Yes, sir. If you're going, you got to stop the running game. We're going to run the ball. But we did, last year I told Tyler, don't be afraid to throw it. And you asked me, Coach, what was he looking at? And we didn't get real fancy with it. We taught a few fundamentals, but we were in a compacted time frame. And so Tyler actually did a really good job on decisions most of the time. I don't want to be afraid to throw the ball. As a head coach, I was a wing T coach forever, run the ball. throw the ball over their head. Now, I kind of like throwing the ball out there, just throwing it straight out there and letting your athlete get 5 yards, get 6 yards. I think if you stretch the defense this way and that way, it's better. And, I think that's made me a better coach, is being willing to do that, and it's fun to coach. It's really fun to coach.
Well, Coach, I'm going to sign us off. That's all the questions I have. I'm going to sign us off. Do you have anything else that you want to add?
Appreciate you having me. I hope I gave somebody at least one thing. That's, to me, the great thing about ball is sharing. And so it's what I wanted to do. And so I hope I gave somebody at least one thing, maybe that make their team better.
Well, thank you, Coach. We appreciate you doing this. And if you guys want to check out any more football content, go to clinic.chiefpigskin.com and check out all of the other football presentations that we have. They're all great. Thank you, guys.